Hi, this is Dr. Anita with another diamond moment. Never forget that the diamonds of our lives are produced through time, heat, and pressure. It's what we do with these challenging moments of our lives that bring the value, that bring the learning, the understanding, and the ability to lead our lives to its fullest. We've been talking about the way that we interact with others, what they bring into our lives, what do the things that we've learned and the decisions that we make, how does that impact us? How does that look in terms of our character, in terms of what we are and who we are? Because we must always remember we can't change anyone except ourselves. And in doing that, how are we able to be most truthful to ourselves, most loving to ourselves, especially in light of times that and situations that often are not lovely or lovable? They are tough. They're just downright difficult. How are we utilizing our past experiences to learn how to be faithful to ourselves, to be good to ourselves? All of those things roll together and join together, create the moments of our life, the feel of our life, the memories of our life. And it's very, very important that as we are growing, as we are becoming who we were designed or destined by God's Spirit, universe, the Creator, as we are evolving into that person, everything counts, everything matters, and we have to utilize every piece of it in order to gain the most that we can from our own lives. I know sometimes I talk to people and they're saying, well, Dr. Anita, maybe I wasn't designed to do what you're doing. Maybe I wasn't designed to be this type of person or this type of person. But I would offer to you the fact that we were all created to be the best us that we could be, to be the best person that we could be, to choose to live the best life that we can live. And many times it's not outside of ourselves. It's not how much money we make or what type of prestige or esteem that we gain from the community, but it is within ourselves. It is within ourselves that we live. And as I said before, no matter where you go, there you are. So we have to be true to ourselves. We have to be true to who we are inside, removing any limitations that someone else has positioned and placed on us, forgetting their expectations and looking towards what is best for each of us as individuals. And so I wanted to pose a question to you this time, and that is, are you finished learning? Have you really gained everything that there is to know about life, about you, about those that are around you, about your culture, about any aspect or subject matter in life? Are you finished learning? Have you decided that I wasn't good at a particular thing when I was growing up and I won't ever try again? And what I'd like to present to you and to challenge you with always is to challenge limiting beliefs and behaviors. Maybe when you were growing up, you weren't good at whatever it is. But you know what? Now you have an entirely different source to pull from. You have experience. You can learn things in a different way. You can learn things your way. You may not be Picasso, but if you want to learn how to do the best stick figures that you can, I'm for you learning to do it. I'm for you giving it a try. You may not be able to be Aretha Franklin or Luther Vandross, but I'm for you doing it the best that you can do it and be happy with the way that it sounds. You may not be Martin Luther King Jr., but if you can bring a change in your generation, why not try? Are you finished learning yet? Have you completed every course and everything that you could possibly learn? Have you put yourself in a position where I at least gave it a try? Maybe I wasn't successful. One of the worst jobs that I ever had. And I always tell you, I'll tell on myself because I know I won't get angry. but I tried dental assisting. Now, I love the course. The course was great. I did fantastically well. I was the worst. I'm going to say it again. I was the worst dental assistant that there ever was. I flat out failed. It is the only position that I ever got fired from. And the man should have fired me. I cannot even blame it on him. But you know what I learned about that? I learned what I wasn't good at. I learned what I didn't need to be doing. I gained some fabulous medical knowledge, in terms of how you take care of your teeth and all that kind of stuff. I overcame some fears that I had about the dentist. I got rid of that phobia. But my goodness, I was a terrible dental assistant. I was terrible. And so with that, I still gained. I still learned. I could mark something off of the list that I tried and it wasn't for me. But at least I tried it. I hope that there are things in your life that maybe you're not the best at, but you did try. And then you found out, you know what? It's real. I am terrible at this. Don't have to keep doing it, but we have to give it a try. We have to be able, once again, to challenge our limiting beliefs, our limiting thoughts, and give it a try. You never know. I might have been fabulous at it, but we know now that that's not how it turned out. So I'm asking you, have you finished learning? Have you finished growing? Sometimes when we get to be a certain age, we look at life as though, I already know all of that. Maybe you don't. There was a famous painter, Grandma Moses, and I believe she started painting in her 90s. She has some works. If you Google it, you'll be able to see. I call it primitive art. So she wasn't Rembrandt. She wasn't some of those who did the fine portraits and stuff. But you know what? Grandma Moses did Grandma Moses, and I celebrate her in that. I want to really encourage you to learn, to grow, to be, to accomplish whatever it is. Challenge every single limiting behavior. You might find out that the experience that you have now will instruct you on how to overcome those challenges. You may not have to learn it the way you did when you were going to school. There may be a way that through logic, you can find another path through. I want you to challenge everything and to try everything. And I also want to ask you, are you the type of person that it's someone else's responsibility to learn for you? Have you handed over that baton of life to someone else for them to learn, for them to grow, for them to do? Are you the type of person that you want someone else to intervene into all of your activities and situations so that you won't have to do it? And then I want to ask you this question. What would you do if they were no longer there? If they couldn't go and do the research and find out and make the phone call and make the contact? What if that person was not there? What would you do in your life then? Would you be permanently crippled? Or would you get up and do for yourself what you had assigned for someone else to do for you? We have to also look at those sides of codependency. And if you remember a few episodes back, I told you that codependent, a really simple way to understand that is someone doing something for someone that they can do for themselves. Doing something for someone that they can do for themselves. And I told you that if your gift is of service, and so that really is something that fulfills you, that's one thing. But also understanding that sometimes the frustration that we are experiencing is because we have overstepped the boundary. We have overstepped the place where this particular grown person can do for themselves what they're asking you to do. If I'm going to the kitchen and you want some water, you say, hey, would you get me some water? No problem. But when you're standing beside the refrigerator and you don't want to open the door and pour your own water, maybe I might have a problem with that. So service is one thing, but codependence is something else. So we look at that, everything we've learned to look at from both sides. Am I codependent because I'm volunteering to do for someone what they can do for themselves? Or is that person actually manipulating my codependence by wanting me to do everything that they could do for themselves? And again, if you have assigned your life for somebody else to do, and that person is no longer here, where does that leave you? They have just left with all of the understanding of all of the skill set that you need to make it through your life, but you no longer have it because they have gone with it. What would you do if they were not there? And then I want you to think about the other areas. Do you have your head hidden like an ostrich in the sand, not looking around and not understanding what's taking place in your culture? Have you closed yourself off to issues relating to cultural differences in people, to diversity, to personal biases, to racism? What is your silence? Because you have attributed that area of life for someone else to do. What has your silence or complacency done in the lives of the people around you? And why would these types of things make a difference? We need to know that we know that we know. When we understand cultural differences among people, we're able to be culturally aware, and therefore we've established and been able to enter even a different area of growth and development. When we look at issues of racism, when we understand what's being said and why people are having a complete fit over being woke, quote unquote, when we understand that people are actually making legislation to keep you from being aware, we need to understand why that makes a difference. When we look at what's taking place and all of the advancements that had been accomplished regarding fighting racism in the United States, and then we see those rights being taken back, what does that mean? And does my complacency add to the ability of someone else to determine my life? Why would we need to look at these things and ask the question, do they make a difference in the process of becoming? Why would this make a difference in the process of my own becoming? And it's because the goal for you is to have complete prosperity, spiritually, socially, emotionally, physically, and financially. You were designed to prosper. You were designed to have peace in every area of your life. But sometimes you have to learn something. Sometimes you have to grow. Sometimes you have to stop giving the areas of your life over to somebody else for them to do for you. You have to take that role into your own hands. You have to make your life better. You have to do that by entering in the middle, working in the middle of your own life and becoming all that you would like to be. So I hope that you have understood what I'm trying to get across today. Are you finished learning? And is your head positioned in the sand like an ostrich, where you're refusing to look around? You have given over your life to someone else for them to do. If you would like to know more, please visit my website, www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com. Also, join me on Wisdom and on FanBase. If you haven't joined me on Wisdom or FanBase, please do. I'm answering questions in real time on Wisdom, and you'll be able to interact with me and a wonderful new social media platform, FanBase. Join me there.